Uh, Liberals hate trucks, is what I found out today. Posted there. I've been on Threads recently, and there's so many people complaining about big trucks. Tundras and F-150s and Chevy Silverados, and they're like nobody uses them. They don't use them as trucks. And it's actually not true. 28% of people who own trucks use them to haul regularly, and 37% use them to haul at least occasionally. So it's not nothing. It is not a majority, but it is a significant amount of people who own trucks use them as trucks. But what it really is it's a hatred of redneck men. So let me explain. They associate big trucks with redneck men. They don't actually hate the trucks. They hate the drivers of the trucks. And you can tell they hate the drivers of the trucks because they always talk about them compensating or having small dicks or whatever. And it's clear that they don't envision the drivers of the truck as a, you know, mousy college professor, mousy male college professor, or a woman of any kind. Um, there's clearly a stereotype associated with it. It's not untrue because big trucks are a redneck cultural artifact in the same way that donks with 24-inch rims are black cultural artifacts, and the way that drift 240s are Asian cultural artifacts. These are sort of working class modification of vehicles, and is sort of a working class art form of such. So when liberals get so up in arms about the size of trucks and the drivers of those big trucks, they're actually showing that deep seated pathology of liberalism, which is classism. They hate people who modify vehicles. They hate especially rednecks who modify big trucks, who put different suspensions on trucks and make the engines high horsepower. And there's also people who complain about trucks being loud. Well, do you hate the loudness of the trucks, or do you hate the drivers of the loud trucks and cars? And it's interesting because I posted this video on Threads, arguing that, um, there is a good reason to have a truck, and it got almost 200 comments and 2,000 views, and liberals were just flipping out, man. And it's really interesting how that sort of redneck Trump supporter who drives a big truck just sets liberals off in a way that is deeply pathological. And it's because they associate that person with everything that they stand against, because liberalism has told them that the redneck who drives a truck is everything you stand against, which is just a stereotype. Rednecks are as diverse as any group of people politically. Most rednecks don't even vote. And as you can see, I have my Cornell West shirt on. I'm going to vote for Cornell. And they despise them because of that association, and also because it just seems beneath them. Now, look, conservatives, they have their things about Priuses and Subarus and Teslas and all these vehicles that are associated with the elites. So all of these vehicles have a class dynamic and a class marker to them. And big trucks are coded redneck, working class men. And people they're not really against the trucks. They're really against the drivers of the trucks. And because those drivers stand for everything that they believe they stand against, which is Trump and conservatism, is just absurd type logic. And everything has become so political in our country that nobody can even drive a working vehicle without it being politicized in a way that people will hate the drivers of the truck without even knowing who they are or meeting them or anything. It's just, I see a lifted Tundra and I hate that person because I associate them with a low class white, so-called white, a low caste, so-called white man, and those are the people that you're supposed to be against if you're a liberal. It's a deep-seated classism that's twisted in with the identity of liberal elitists. So, you know, it's really interesting because, you know, what they said to me was that my truck was fine, but that other trucks were not. And they said that my truck was fine because I use it for hauling shit, and I use it. I have my tools in it and stuff. And what they're really saying is that I'm good at being a man, and they like men that are good at being men, but men that are not good at being men and that don't drive a useful truck or are so at being men, but maybe want to express their male identity through their vehicle, much the same way everybody else expresses their identity through their vehicle. Um, they don't like them. Only a certain type of man passes the bar of of uh, of approval of the liberal elitists. So that's the pathology. There are good working class men who drive smaller trucks and use them to haul shit and are, good at being men. And the people who maybe don't have that same type of skill set but still want to express their masculinity through their vehicle are not as good at being men. So that's the liberal pathology, trucks, and men. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace, y'all.